Hello ladies, welcome back to the Million Dollar Babes YouTube channel. So today's video is actually a collab with one of my students, the Abundance Factor. Her YouTube channel is linked in the description box, and I would love for you guys to go and check out her imaginary rules that we have broken in business and are widely successful and wildly happy. So I did a video a while back on my main channel, The Universe Grew, about imaginary rules and the women that follow them. And this is really clear and huge in the entrepreneur space online. There are so many rules that every single coach seems to say you have to do it this way or you're not gonna make it. I can't tell you how many times I have been told that on my journey, that if you don't do it this way, you're not going to be successful. And I just didn't, because it didn't suit me. And I'm wildly successful, wildly happy here. And today I wanted to talk to you about some of these rules. And honestly, this concept can be applied to any area of your life. We seem to love rules and standards and procedures, and I get it. We are wired that way and it's useful. But sometimes it's time to question those beliefs and rules because they do not serve our intentions for our life. So one of the main things that I'm going to say before I even get into my list is that you decided to get into your own business and be an entrepreneur because you didn't want to do things the 9-to-5 way, because you didn't want to have a boss, right? But a lot of times when we come in from that space, we bring with us that same energy. And instead of being an entrepreneur, we still end up in that employee consciousness. So wherever you can question that in yourself and say, am I really being the boss here? Am I really being the queen of my life? Am I really being a million-dollar babe? It will be so useful. I still find myself after years questioning this in myself, because I will find myself in a place where I'm like trying to do things a certain way and I'm like, why? I don't have a boss. I can do it any way I want to. I am the boss, right? So number one imaginary rule was that you have to be on all platforms. You absolutely do not. In fact, I used to be on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And at that time, I believe I was making about $40,000 a month consistently. And when I closed down my Instagram and closed down my Facebook, I went from $40,000 a month to currently $200,000 a month consistently, and only going up and up. So this is a myth. Some people can be on all platforms and it really works for them, and more power for them, right? But I am not that person. I do best when I'm focused on one thing, putting my energy in there, and then turning it off and going back to living my life, right? I did not start an online business so I can be a slave to the business. And one way I look at it is, my business is meant to support my life, not the other way around, right? I don't want all my resources going into maintaining this monster of a business that requires a lot of oiling and greasing to get everything moving. So again, if you like to be on all platforms and it works for you, great. But always check in with yourself and make sure that that's really what you desire and not just something you're doing because you're supposed to do it, right? Number two is that you have to have an email list. Wrong. I currently don't have an email list. And again, as I mentioned, making multiple six figures a month. I used to have an email list. I've had it at different times. I only do things when they make sense. And when they stop making sense for my heart, I cut it out, because there's no point in me showing up kind of like half-assed in something that my heart isn't in. Like, I just can't do it that way, because I want to run my business from the divine feminine as much as possible. And so I currently don't have an email list, and nothing is broken, everything's working. So just know that that is also a myth. Number three is that you have to have complicated funnels and systems to make sales. I have tried these at the advice of business coaches that I've hired in the past, and they just didn't work for me. It almost didn't even make sense, because I was doing my YouTube videos and getting clients, but my coaches said you should do your YouTube video, get people on an email list, then put them in a webinar, and then give them the link so they can buy your course. But I didn't need the extra 3 or 4 steps, because if I just did the YouTube video and put the link, I was getting the sales anyways. So strangely enough, the people that I worked with, they could not understand how that was. So they were like, no, this is the correct way to do it. So anyways, I tried it their way. I wanted to see, hey, obviously I hired them, so they must know more than me. And I discovered that that is not always the case. Some people like complicated business funnels and systems. I don't. So I don't do them. And guess what? Everything still works. Number 4 is that you have to do sales call to sell courses or coaching packages. And wrong again. I do not do sales calls. I despise sales calls. I had a coach previously that insisted I had to do them. So I tried them on, and the people that showed up on my sales calls, my discovery calls, were super confused. And they were like, Mina, why are we here? Can you just give me the payment link so I can pay for your services? And what I realized is that I attract the type of people that are hell yes people. They're like ready to work with me. They're like, where do I sign? Here's my credit card, right? So getting them on a call doesn't make any sense because they're already ready to buy, right? They're already people that are sold. They resonate with my work. I show up, I bare my heart and my soul, and they're like, okay, I'm in. So if I just add an extra procedure of a call or a webinar, it's confusing to them. Okay, so again, myth busted. You don't need to do sales calls. Now, if you like doing them, by all means, continue doing them. But if you don't, you can get rid of them. Okay. And the fifth one, which my student, the Abundance Factor, the woman I'm doing this collab with, she is a genius at this, and that's why I want you to go and check her out. This one is that you need to look a certain way. And this is so not true. I used to get caught up in that too, like that I have to have this high-end look. I had a coach tell me that you have to spend $5,000 on pictures to be seen online, or you have to get plastic surgery, or you have to get fillers, or you have to have certain thing. And the truth is, there are clients and an audience for every person. And if you just show up bearing your heart and soul like I do, and you show up in your authentic self, this is how I am all the time, so this is how I show up on video, then you will attract the people that are soul resonance with you. These are the people that are like ride or die. These are the people that resonate with your vibration on such a deep level that you don't need to contrive anything extra for them. You don't need to be prestigious. Like my best friend takes my pictures. She's a hairstylist, right? I don't need to make myself look like anything I'm not to attract clients, because this is who I am and I'm selling myself, like my work, right? And so what I love about the Abundance Factor is that she showed up in the capacity that made sense for her. So she has, certain religious beliefs, and she covers herself. She even covers her face, and she is a little baddie that is not afraid to show up on camera that way. I hear so many other women saying, well, I can't, my house doesn't look right, or my look doesn't look right. I have to lose weight, or I have to get a nose job, or I have to get my hair done. Then I can show up. And she's just like, here I am. This is how I'm going to show up in the capacity that works for me. And she is killing it in the business space. So if you guys have all these stories in your head of the reasons why you can't show up, you absolutely need to go check out the Abundance Factor and see how she is showing up. And see, showing up doesn't need to mean that you show up in a bikini, right? Showing up means that you show up with your heart in whatever capacity that suits you, and you will attract your soul clients. So I know the Abundance Factor just started a YouTube channel, but she has a lot of followers on Facebook. She's got a Facebook group. She's got an email list. I will link her YouTube channel below, and then you can connect with her and learn more about her website and everything else. So go to the Abundance Factor YouTube channel. I've got it linked below. Check her out, give her a subscribe, and let her know that the Universe Grew and $1 Million Babe YouTube channel sent her. And I'll see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments, what imaginary rules do you need to break or have broken to become successful in your spiritual business? And I'll see you in the next one.